Somebody said I looked really good on camera and wanted to know what my setup was. I said, thank you. Let me show you. So I thought I'd share this with you guys too. First is the camera. I have a Sony a6400. You can see it in my feed there, Sony a6400. Now the software I'm using here is OBS. I can go into detail on any of these things. I'm not going to deep dive. I'm just going to inventory equipment for you and maybe some software. So this is my primary camera, a Sony a6400. That was $750 or $800 with this lens. And that lens is what does the focal range that makes my background a little blurry and me sharp in focus. Then I have a Logitech Brio 4K. That's my backup. It's not great. I don't recommend it. That was a previous one. I have a Shure SM7B, and that is, I've got the fat thing on there. Normally it's a little skinnier one. Now I also have the full setup here, LG 34-inch ultra-wide, 34-inch ultra-wide, 27-inch standard aspect ratio. That's the one I do my presentations on. So whenever I share screen, because I run a lot of Zooms, it's on the 27 1080p ratio screen. Okay. Next, I have just a fat TV up top. I'll run chat right there on the left side. I will run, that's my actual video software dashboard thing, and I can switch the input. So even if a host doesn't allow me to share screen, guess what your boy can do? Where did my mouse go? Your boy has technical difficulties when it's live. I can switch to Zoom window, and my Zoom feed switches to that, and I've got my camera up there in the corner doing good for me. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to go into detail, and look at me. So the full setup here, the 4 monitors. Now I've got this brand, newer. I've got these little lights. One here from the side, one in the front. It's at a weird spot in the corner, so I wish I could make it better. Now the Shure SM7B is an XLR connection. I heard they made a new USB version, but the XLR has to run and connect down to my soundboard. Choose your own. I think there's some more broadcast-friendly ones that are there, but just be aware, you've got volume control here, you've got volume control there. It's all over the place. There's so many places you can be muted, so be careful there. I have a charging stand for my phone, which is handy because it works as my clock. That's not a normal, I don't know, that's not a major feature, but I do recommend it. Very handy. You can change the color of these lights. You can do flashes, colors, or you've got these natural tones, and I can turn one more orange. So if I want kind of a sunset coming through the window, by the way, blackout curtains, very important. You don't want light pollution coming into the room. So I can change this to like a sunset color on the side of my face so that when I am on screen, you can have a little bit more of a orange color on the side. It does make a difference in the mood, the style. Now, behind me, other equipment I have this light. It's expensive. Somebody gave it to me. You can get your own equivalent though without paying as much as that one costs. Obviously the sword. This is like an LED rope, like the silicone rope thing. And I like this because you can't see individual dots. I don't know how to make the camera smooth on it, but it's pretty cool. The black wall really made things better for me. If I could, I would go paint my ceiling black, but I have 2 color changeable LED panel lights here that shine on the wall. Now in the room, this looks like it's a pretty bright room. However, on the camera, it doesn't look quite as bright. I stand out against the background better, especially when I scoot forward. So if you see me here, I should look a lot sharper, and in focus, that's all blurry because the camera is auto-tracking me. What else? So the camera is hooked up with an HDMI, micro HDMI out, and it goes into a video capture USB-C cord that plugs into the back of my PC. This PC has an RTX 3090 graphics card and a Intel Core i9 processor, 14th generation, so the system screams, man. This thing is just kind of a felt board that I put in to reduce the fan noise that comes up to my microphone for noise pollution. You don't have to do that. It's handy though. And I have a couple of these foam blocks here to soak up some sound. I would like some more sound traps in the room so my audio's cleaner. What else? I have a permanent battery plug-in kit for the camera. That little small cord is the one that's just it's like a fake battery that plugs into the wall. What else? Other equipment. I like my mechanical keyboard. Usually it's not too noisy on calls. I like my MX400 mouse. Is it the MX4? MX3? Oh, MX3 mouse, the Logitech MX3. It's got quiet clickers, rolls real good. Great, great mouse. Oh, also, my sound doesn't come through speakers. It comes through this thing, like a person on stage would have. I run sound for my church, and so if you can see this guy, that's a wireless, well, it's an in-ear monitor. It's wireless because this wire is plugged into this hip receiver, which runs on AA's, and I run rechargeable AA's, and this receiver or transmitter is what I use. If I could go back and start everything over, I might buy a deluxe one of these for several $100s that comes with the little boom mic that pastors and other stage speakers, and then you have an all-in-one transmit and receive combo unit. But you spend a few $100s at a time, and you learn what might have worked better a different time. So I can do links and share all the different stuff. I have used my little DJI microphones in the past to connect to my computer. DJI brand has great microphones, by the way. The quality of the microphone is significant when you choose, when you choose the right brands. The quality of microphone is a huge factor. People talk about me sounding clear on Zooms. It's this thing. And your proximity to it makes a big difference. This can pick up bass in my voice. This does not pick up the bass. It picks me up just fine, but this distance here doesn't pick up the full tonality of my voice. So if I can get this close to me, the sound is just really rich. But I've got this little boom arm. Now this one was actually a pretty cheap one, but I had to install this like metal lug because it was bending because of all the weight here. I would go back and buy the Shure brand one instead, but as it is, I had one. I was able to jerry-rig it and make it work. And yes, it gets in the way of me seeing monitors sometimes, but I can just drop it down out of the way like that when I don't need it. What else? What questions do you have? How can I help you get your setup done? Oh, top light. I forgot that. A top light really does make a difference. The sharpness of my hair on screen, see this? This is from the top light. It really does make me pop against the background. So you've got direct and indirect lighting. One thing I wish I had was the grid, the square, like 2-inch square grid that's like this deep. It's the black fabric, and it only lets the light travel forward because I shouldn't be able to see any light from this angle. That causes light pollution in this direction, splashing on my walls, all this stuff. And I only want the right colors to be splashing on my walls, not just the general room light. So if I could, I would go back and do that. But I called Neewer, this brand. They don't even make one for this cheaper model. This is like $110 for the pair. But it is a smart light inside of there with color change abilities and programmability and the tripod and the everything for 110 bucks. Like, what a great deal. And it really upped my game. If you don't know the amount of light you have to have in a room to look sharp is amazing. It's astounding. The other thing is, if you have multiple monitors like I do, and you have reading white websites and screens, then that's going to show on your face. So you don't want your monitor to be the brightest light in the room. You want a lot of bright light, and ideally, I would have the filter squares on there so that my light pollution wouldn't light up the back of the room, because I would like that to look even darker than it does. Now, to my eyes, it's nice and bright in here. To the camera, I have a bunch of settings on the camera that dim it down, that focus more on me. They focus more on me. So that the background, when you look at this camera, the background doesn't look nearly as bright as it does in the real life background. See, it's not the same. So you can fine tune your camera settings to make that work. I hope this is helpful. I can add links and share stuff for you, but I just wanted to share this little piece because somebody said, hey, how do you do that? How do you make it look like that? It's all right here, baby.